Peter Kyle appeared on GB News Breakfast where he was grilled about the BBC investigation into Rachel Reeves. Labour Party MP Peter Kyle became visibly flustered as he was grilled about a BBC investigation into Chancellor of the Exchequer Rachel Reeves by Eamonn Holmes and Ellie Costello on GB News. Addressing the subject of Reeves' allegedly embellished CV, Kyle said, "The person who was director of HR for Holmes at that time, says that no file passed her desk. She was totally unaware of it, that there was no investigation that she was aware of. Rachel Reeves has said that there was none of that, and on the CV thing, she's apologized that somebody who works for her did an account for her on LinkedIn, and there was a 6 or 9 month discrepancy. But look at what we're talking about here. We have somebody who is a trained economist, who has worked as an economist, who has brought that experience into government, and has looked at the results. We have finally," he said as Eamonn Holmes cut him off, "we're not talking about what is truthful. We're talking about what is not truthful. And I agree with you, Peter. That's an impressive CV that anybody would have. Why the need to embellish it?" he asked. Kyle stuttered slightly as he responded, "As I said, she has addressed these issues so many times. Somebody on her team created a LinkedIn account, and there was a 6 or 9 months discrepancy. A 6 or 9 month discrepancy. And what we're talking about here is our economy, and when you see what she has achieved since she's got in. What she inherited as Chancellor," he said as Holmes and Costello shouted over him. Undeterred he continued, "to get growth into the economy based on fundamentals." Holmes scoffed, "Well, she hasn't done that, has she?" "Well, she has. Because just this week, we saw that the economy is back in growth again," Kyle continued. Holmes laughed incredulously as he said, "What, 0.1%? She herself has said that that's not enough. But after just 6 months of government, a few months after the budget, when we had inherited a £22 billion black hole, you can see that we're getting the fundamentals right. And when you look at where that growth is coming from in those figures, it's coming from predominantly growth in construction. And look at what we've been talking about as part of our growth plan, expansion of Heathrow, the Oxfam link, 1.5 million houses. This is just the start, because none of the shovels in the ground are there yet from those projects, but we're laying the foundations for it. You can see, because of her training, because of her background, she understands how to fix our economy and get the growth into it, so the actions, not just the words, but also just look at what she is using her experience for, and I think it's going to benefit our economy hugely." Costello challenged him again saying, "The point is, she has lied, hasn't she? In her own words, she told a conference she spent the best part of a decade as an economist. She didn't. She lied to businesses about her experiences, therefore her ability to run the economy. So why should the public then trust her to be a good custodian of the economy?" Kyle was visibly flustered as he reiterated his point. All of those issues have been addressed by Rachel herself over quite a long period of time now. And as you said before, quite an extraordinary amount of scrutiny into a CV error for which she has explained in the past. But then we have all this experience under the belt now. We have all of this actual action that she is doing on behalf of our country, and I think that is what we should be focusing on. On the other issue, the person responsible for it has said that she has no recollection of it. The person responsible for HR has said that it didn't happen to her knowledge. And I think we should really be focusing on the things that are putting bread and butter on people's feet right now, up and down the country, he said.